The MLBPA the other day came out and said they are absolutely not going to accept a salary cap. My name is Nicholas Earl, and welcome back to another edition of Baseball Talk with Yo Brothers. Joined here by my brother Tim, and today we'll be talking salary cap. We'll be talking negotiations and things along those lines, and maybe some solutions as well to how we would approach it. Tim, the other day, the MLBPA came out and said they are absolutely not having a salary cap. Shocked?
Is the sky blue? Is the grass green? No, I'm not surprised. And you know what? They should stick to their guns. We'll have a whole entire conversation about it. But no, zero surprise to the MLBPA, at least at this point of the discussions, saying absolutely no to a salary cap.
Yeah, also, one thing you got to keep in mind as well is what for people who are complaining about the MLBPA putting out this statement, my question is, what did you think they were going to say? Yeah, we'll be fine with the salary cap. Yeah, we'll give in to the billionaire owners. Yeah, if the lockout goes into March, yeah, we'll give in. No, they weren't going to say that at all. Like, why in the hell are people shocked or people getting up in arms that the MLBPA said they're absolutely not going to accept a salary cap? I mean, did you expect anything else?
I would be extremely disappointed if at this point they would already said, sure, we'll do a cap.
Because that just shows you're weak and you're conceding already, and that's just not going to happen.
Exactly. The whole conversation here is going to be revolving around the salary cap. And I know a lot of people could go and look at the other leagues and go, wow, the parity and everything in them. For the NBA, there's 8 different champions the last 8 years. That's great. How often during our high school, Nick, was it Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors for 4 straight years?
4 straight years, every single year of high school. It's the same matchup.
Here's the deal. Salary cap, no salary cap. Parity will happen in the MLB. I mean, yes, I know the Dodgers have won 2 in a row. And if you count 2020, they've won 3 out of 5. I personally don't count 2020. And then if you go back and you look at some of the other champions, obviously Dodgers in 24 and 25, Rangers in 23, they're not a super high spending team. Yes, they spend some money. They're not a super high spending, and they went up against the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are not a super high spending that year. Year before that, you had the Phillies and the Astros. Astros were all homegrown. Yeah, they gave out some extensions and stuff. They're all homegrown. At that point. And Phillies spend money, but I believe they were 5th or 6th in the payroll that year. They weren't number 1, number 2. Previous year you had the Braves, which we all know the Braves are not crazy spenders. Anthopoulos is just insane with what his moves were.
The Braves had the 10th highest payroll that year.
Braves had the 10th highest payroll that year, and they played the Astros, who were sitting 4th. Yeah, 4th. But it was still, we got to keep in mind the Astros had a lot of homegrown talent that they gave extensions to.
Also keep in mind 2021, those 4th was $194 million.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh wow, no, that's.
But you can look back at all. How about even if you're gonna look at 2020, Tampa Bay Rays made the World Series.
Yes.
That's not a big market team. The Nationals won the World Series in 2019. That's not a big market team. Like you can go back.
Nationals had the 7th most.
You do have a bunch of parity in the MLB. It happens. Are you going to have points that teams are going to go back to back? Sure, you have that in every sport.
I mean, look at hockey. They have a salary cap, and they had 2 teams represent the Eastern Conference across 6 years because the Lightning made the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row than the Panthers did. So, like, they've had multiple repeat champions. We've had the Chiefs win how many Super Bowls over the last few years?
Chiefs won. The only example that we can't really use right now for salary cap and parity is the NBA. They've had 8 straight different champions. But you could also look back at the mid-2010s and you get the Warriors versus the Cavs for 4 straight years. You can go back and look at all these things. And I also wanted to bring up another point with this. It doesn't make as much sense in baseball. Why does a salary cap not make as much sense in baseball? How many players are on the basketball court?
5.
How many players are on the roster?
11.
11 or 12 or 13 at some point. That's not a lot of players you can easily pay. Salary cap makes sense for the NBA. NHL, how many players are on an active roster, Nick?
20-something.
20-something. That's a very small roster. Yes, you have some of your other leagues and stuff. MLB has a 40-man roster, and there is no minor leagues as crazy as the MLB.
Yes.
You don't have any other hockey. Yes, there's a bunch of leagues, but not all of them are all affiliated.
No.
You have in baseball, you have low A, high A, double A, triple A. And you have the DSLs.
And the Florida Coast.
And you have so many different leagues that are affiliated with the MLB. All of those are underneath the salary cap. All of those would be underneath that. So it's just it doesn't make sense to have it in baseball. So I still think we're going to have games next year. We're going to have, I'm going to say, almost a full season next year. And we're not going to have a salary cap.
I agree. I don't. At the end of the day, I think we will have baseball next year. I do not think there will be a salary cap. I think there might be less rounds in the draft. There might be limited on that. Even that,
you still got to fill your farm system.
Yeah, minor league contracts should be higher, and IFA signings and stuff like that should be higher. Now, granted. How are they supplemented? Well, if you're a top pick, you get a nice signing bonus right out of the draft. But other than that, it's really tough with that. And when we're looking at everything here, I just don't see with the way baseball is right now. Which, by the way, the Padres sold their team for just shy of $6 billion.
I thought it was 3.9.
What? I thought it was more. Give me 2 seconds.
I looked up Padres sale the other day because I was looking at it. I thought it was $3.9 billion.
$3.9. Okay. Where was I thinking there?
I don't know. That's how much the Padres could be worth.
Yeah.
We're pretty close to. Sorry, the mic. I think we both saw this on Twitter the other day. How many teams are worth at least $1 billion?
Every single one.
All right, let's up it. How many teams are worth at least $1.5 billion?
I think that cuts off a couple.
I think that does not cut off any of them.
Because I think
the Marlins are at 1.5 according to Forbes.
Oh, and that must have updated because the numbers I
checked the other day, and that's why I commented on your post saying that because I saw a bunch of people commenting because me and Nick, the reason why we're recording this video, we've had a lot of conversation with salary cap people on Twitter over the last bunch of days. Marlins should be at 1.5 billion.
So here's the crazy thing. I think the numbers I was looking at the other day when I put that trivia question out on Twitter was how many were worth it. It was, I think, going into the 2025 season was those numbers. And the Marlins were worth $1.005 billion. And they've gone up $500 million. With the state of what the MLB is right now, just how it's doing, missing games over this seems very stupid from the owner's perspective as well. That you're going to kill all this momentum that this sport is building because you want to be able to value your teams a little bit better. And let's cut the crap that this is for competitive balance. I mean, just look at the standings right now and see how many teams are within 4 games of a playoff spot.
The league's competitive. Yes, there's always going to be teams at the top, but the league's competitive.
Absolutely. So that's another thing that drives me crazy. It's competitive balance. Guess what? If you put a salary cap, the same teams are going to win every year. And I think the bigger issue in baseball is not the teams that spend $300 million. It's the teams that don't even put money together or put the money out to build and field a competitive baseball team. The Rockies have sucked for years because they refuse to spend money. The White Sox have sucked for years. Now, granted, they're better this year, but they only had a 40-win season a couple years ago in order to do so. They fail to put money in there. The Marlins feel like they're in a constant rebuild because they don't put any money in there. The only teams that don't put money in and are competitive are are the Rays and the Brewers, it feels like. And that's it at the moment. And yeah. I feel like if you had the Brewers with their brass and everything like that, and you forced them to spend more money, they would be able to take care of the Dodgers easily. Like if you force them to spend money, that's what you need to do, is force these teams to put more money out there. And if the owner can't afford it, sell the team, because there are plenty of billionaires out there who would love to own a professional sports team.
Yeah,
that would actually try and put money in to win championships.
And I've actually had that same conversation with people that tell me that the MLB is a business. Yes, the MLB is a business. Sports in general are a business. They're not the same as owning a factory or owning Amazon or whatever it may be. Because you, as an owner of your team, have an obligation to your fans to put out the best team, the best product on the field that you possibly can. That is your obligation. You signed up for it. I don't want to hear the bullshit that it's a business, they're worried about profits. Yes, they should be worried about profits. But if profits, and if your MLB team is just another number on your tax report, sell your team. Talking to you, Bob Nutting. Like
Castellini in Cincinnati. Holy
and
crap.
A's owner.
Fisher.
Sell your team. Sell your team. Have somebody who actually gives a shit about winning run your team. Have somebody who will spend their own money so that their team will win. You owe it to your fans. You owe it to the people who buy tickets, buy merch, go to the stadium, pay for your $100 parking or ridiculous parking. I thought like Citi Field was like $50 when we went.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's absolutely ridiculous the cost that it is to go to some games. And like, if you're going to like an Athletics game or an Angels game and a Rockies game, you still have to pay up the wazoo to go to those games. And the owners don't give a shit. Let's be honest. Angels actually spend a little bit of money. Rockies don't spend shit. Athletics don't spend shit. Royals are starting to. That's one of the bottom teams as well. The Reds don't spend anything. Like, if you are going to own a team, please give a shit about it. Like, it pisses me off that owners watch their team and go, hey, we're 45-74. That's okay. We're still making profit. And if you're one of those people who only care about it as a number, please sell your team, because I guarantee there is 29 more Steve Cohens out there that will be more than willing.
Maybe not to the extent of a Steve Cohen, but yeah.
Okay. There's more people with the mindset of Steve Cohen and have the money and will actually be willing to spend the money, because there was one team last year that did not operate at a profit. It was the New York Mets.
Yep.
Because he spent his money. And guess what? He did it again the next year. And he does not give a shit. You need to find more owners like Steve Cohen, like the Rogers, like who's the Dodger one?
Oh, they have
the family that owns the Dodgers. You gotta have
their Guggenheim baseball management. There is a bunch of owners of the
do that. Then do that. Have a bunch of people that will actually spend their own money, so that I would much rather watch a bunch of teams with payrolls at $300 and $400 million buying a bunch of good players than having to watch the Miami Marlins spend $80 million or the Cincinnati Reds spend $90, whatever it is. I don't know what their actual payrolls are off the top of my head. But it sucks to watch these teams. Oh, here we go. I would rather, $83 million spent by the Miami Marlins. And they're a game over 500. Imagine what they would be if they spent a little bit more. If they doubled their payroll to $160 million, they would be mid-pack. And they would probably be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Cleveland, start $90 million. Start spending money. St. Louis, I understand that one. They're going through a rebuild. They sold off a bunch of pieces. Fine. They have $108 million. Tampa Bay is the best team in the American League. $114 million. Chicago White Sox, $116 million. Those are the two teams getting buys, and they have the 26th and 27th ranked payrolls.
Yep.
And people are still saying we need a cap.
Yep. And to all the billionaire owners out there complaining about, oh, what I need to know the net value of my team. I need to know how much I can sell it for if I wanted to. I want to have I was just looking at it here. You want to know how many teams lost value from 25 to 26? Like
Nobody.
Because there's like 1 year change. The Phillies went up 10 million, up 10%. The Mets went up 9%. The Giants went up 1%.
Nobody.
One singular team. The White Sox lost 3% value, and they're I think in the process of trying to sell their team, or we're looking to.
That's fair, but it's just like.
But like when we're complaining about a salary cap right now, meanwhile 29 of the 30 teams gained value over the last calendar year on their franchise. Like the Yankees just sold partial ownership to a private equity for $2.6 billion. Just a small little bit of ownership, not control over the team, just a partial. So,
and I want to bring up one more thing, and then we'll end the video.
Yeah.
Floor or ceiling?
You mean floor or cap?
Yes, floor or cap.
I think the answer is obvious.
And I just want to discuss it a little bit more because I know we've had it. We've talked about it, and we just mentioned the cap's not going to do anything. But say if we put out and I made kind of a joke tweet, but I kind of like it. Set the floor at $175 million. Set the ceiling at $100 billion. There you go. Both sides get a floor and a ceiling. Everybody's happy.
Floor and a cap.
Floor and a cap. What would have to? How many more teams would have to spend more money if we upped it to $175 million? That would be 11 teams. Brewers, Reds, Cincinnati. All right, Brewers, Cincinnati, the Athletics, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Colorado, Washington, White Sox, Tampa, St. Louis, Cleveland, Miami. All those teams would have to spend more money. Kansas City is the first team clear of that. They're at 185.
Yep.
So imagine if some of those teams, like how many of those 11 teams are currently not in the playoff spot? Cincy, Oakland, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Colorado, Washington, Miami, St. Louis. 8 out of those 11 teams are not. Now imagine they spend a little bit more money, and here's the big deal with it. I know they spent $232 million this year. You put a little bit more of a salary floor. Tariq School is not going to go anywhere. Like there's a lot
because you have to spend.
Because you have to spend money. All of a sudden, obviously they're up to 232, but whatever. Like Pittsburgh, you're gonna have to pay Skeens soon. You're at $138 million payroll,
and a $37 million AAV puts you up to the floor. Oh, here, Paul Skeens. Here's 5 for 37 AAV.
Yeah, all of a sudden, there you go. Like that. Hey, Junior Caminero, you're gonna have to get paid soon. Boom.
Here's like 10 for $325 million.
Like you have a bunch of players, like St. Louis. Burley's gonna have to get paid soon. McGravy's gonna have to get paid 15. Soon. Like all of a sudden you get White Sox. You get to keep Murakami. You get to pay him a little bit more. Keep Murakami. Like
hit the floor.
In order to hit the floor. Washington, load up on James Wood. Load up on C.J. Abrams. Like just imagine if we had a floor. None of these teams have to trade away their big guys to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Like
now, still,
you guys not realize
still the player does have to sign the deal.
They do still have to sign the deal, but all of a sudden, these teams have to spend up, so they're keeping more of their homegrown talents.
Imagine being developed. Imagine being hopeful if you're a team that usually spends $100 million,
not being depressed because you're a Pittsburgh fan and go, "Damn it, Skeens is going to be a Dodger in 2 years." Like, imagine if you had a floor and all of a sudden Pittsburgh's to pay up and, hey, you get to keep Skeens now.
Yeah.
That would be great for baseball. So, floor, yes. Cap, no. Or if you're going to set a cap, be stupid. $100 billion, $50 billion, $1 billion. Like, have a cap so ridiculously high, so at least they'll have a cap.
Yep. But I think that's just going to about wrap it up for another CBA talk video, because we're going to have plenty of that in the off season. So if you guys did enjoy this content, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, turn on post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we come out with a video here at Baseball Talk with your brothers. That's going to do it for this one, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.